A fan film is exactly what the name implies, a film of a particular subject. And in the case of Star Trek, these amateur productions have been around almost as long as Star Trek itself. The earliest publicly available example dates back to 1967, while Star Trek was still running on NBC. Titled simply Star Trek, it's about what you'd expect of the genre at the time, kids utilizing the family Super 8 camera, makeshift uniforms with hand-drawn insignias, use of the model they got for Christmas, etc. The first noteworthy attempt to kick things up a notch came in 1974 with now partially lost John Constantino's Paragon's Paragon, essentially an adaptation of James Blish's Star Trek novel Spock Must Die. The film ran for an hour, shot on 16mm film, features a full-size recreation of the bridge set, more or less, and presented an ambitious variety of special effects on a budget of around $2,000, roughly $10,000 in today's dollars. Something to keep in mind is that through much of the history of fan films, Paramount gladly turned a blind eye to such activities. Not only fan films, but bootleg ship models, costumes, and fanzines, so long as they didn't make any actual appreciable amount of money off of their intellectual property. I.e., not enough that it was worth it for Paramount to unleash their lawyers and shut it all down. The next major attempt at a semi-pro level fan film came in 1985 with Yorktown, A Time to Heal, with the key selling points being the inclusion of George Takei as Sulu and James Shigeta as Admiral Nogura, the admiral who gave Kirk back command of the Enterprise in Star Trek the Motion Picture. This project even got a write-up in Starlog magazine at the time. Unfortunately, production was abandoned before completion and lay dormant for nearly 20 years when work resumed in 2010. In April 2022, the longest gap in production history ended, and Yorktown A Time to Heal finally hit YouTube to mostly positive response. December of 2002 saw the debut of Starship Exeter, featuring the adventures of a decontaminated and recrewed USS Exeter, last seen in the infamous original series episode The Omega Glory, with her crew reduced to white crystals. Under the command of Captain John Quincy Garvik, cousin to Ensign Garvik on the Enterprise and nephew of the late Captain Garvik of the Farragut, both referenced in the original series episode Obsession, we meet a fairly diverse and interesting group of characters, and the first fan film production to present us with accurate recreations of the original sets. Uniforms and hand props are one thing, but building full-size sets is a whole nother level of commitment. Even most productions nowadays tend to go for the cheaper option of green screens and CGI recreations. The debut episode, The Savage Empire, showed great promise, claymation monster notwithstanding, and a fan following started to take shape. Unfortunately, the second episode, The Tresarian Intersection, ran into the common enemy of most fan films, specifically real life. Being released one act at a time, with acts 1 through 3 coming out fairly quickly, the delay in the release of Act 4, due to the demanding visuals and folks having to eat and pay their own bills, stretched out a few years. In all, from the start of principal photography to the release of the final act, it took nearly 10 years for the completed episode to finally see the light of day. Needless to say, the third episode, The Atlantis Invaders, never happened. By the way, that bridge set, after a stop in Oklahoma for much-needed refurbishment and restoration, now lives in Arkansas with a group of Starship Ajax, another aspiring fan film group. This series took the approach many fan films take, depicting other ships and officers in the Star Trek universe, away from the Enterprise, allowing the writers and actors to follow their own paths and not run afoul of the established canon. After all, it'd take some serious balls to actually take on the roles of Kirk, Spock, and the rest, right? Well, in 2004, James Cawley decided to grab onto that third rail of fan films and produce Star Trek New Voyages, with Cawley himself taking on the role of Captain Kirk. A former underling of Star Trek costume designer William Ware Tice, Cawley has made most of his money primarily as one of the world's most acclaimed Elvis impersonators, hence the jet black king of rock and roll pompadour. I like to think of this as an alternate timeline where Hawaii Five-0 didn't take off, Jack Lord had a slight change of heart regarding Star Trek, Shatner left after the third season, and Kirk is recast Darren Stevens style, with Jack Lord donning the command tunic for considerably less than the 50% ownership he asked for the first time he was asked back in 1964. As is the standard with any such production where cast and crew largely consist of highly enthusiastic amateurs, the first offerings are a little rough, with slightly dodgy camera work, rough audio mixes, and frankly flat amateurish lighting. Thankfully, these issues were quickly resolved with subsequent episodes, although the second episode, In Harm's Way, became a touchstone for how not to depict the Enterprise. Whenever you hear complaints about the Enterprise being zipped around like a colonial viper, this is where that happened. In 2008, the production changed its name to Star Trek Phase 2, a clear nod to the planned Star Trek revival TV series that was shelved in favor of Star Trek the Motion Picture, itself an adaptation of what would have been the pilot episode for Phase 2. This wasn't just a clever rebranding, however. The intent was to produce some of those unproduced Phase 2 scripts. This only got as far as The Child, a script that had already been adapted for the Next Generation's second season to get around to writer's strike at the time, and Katoomba, a John Meredith Lucas story about the Klingons that required some serious reworking to bring it in line with Klingon society as we knew it by the time of Enterprise, and featuring future Captain Kirk Vic Mignogna as a villainous Klingon. It was while developing a Norman Spinrad script, He Walked Among Us, a script initially pitched for the original series as a vehicle from Milton Berle, believe it or not, that the friendly folks at CBS chimed in to remind Cawley that they still own those scripts and would really prefer that nobody else produce them. This was around the time of the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movies, and CBS, or at least Bad Robot, developed a serious case of territoriality, putting the kibosh on that idea. Remember, this was the same period when Bad Robot tried to tell CBS to stop merchandising anything connected to the original series, prompting CBS to instruct J.J. Abrams to do something anatomically impossible to himself. This also marked an end to Cawley's turn as Captain Kirk, citing both scheduling issues and weariness of the blowback from Star Trek fans who weren't very charitable to his portrayal of Captain Kirk, prompting him to pull back a bit to focus on producing the show, and bringing in actor Brian Gross to take over the role of Kirk for the last of the production's 10 episodes. Cawley's last official on-screen appearance in the series was as a demented mental patient who thought he was Elvis, in the adaptation of Shirley Mioski's much-beloved fanfic Mindsifter. Although there is his turn as Kirk in the unfinished episode Origins, an adaptation of David Gerrold's original series pitch The Protracted Man, which also gave us a look at things to come with return appearance of Vic Mignogna, this time as Jim Kirk's father, Commander George Kirk. Although Starship Exeter initially kicked off the current state of fan films with faithful recreations of sets and higher quality visual effects, most folks looked at New Voyages as when Star Trek fan films kicked into high gear, partially because Cawley did grab that third rail of taking on the role of Kirk, garnering a lot of attention, both pro and con, and the fact that this production had the active participation of actual Star Trek veterans both in front of and behind the camera, most notably George Takei, Grace Lee Whitney, and Walter Koenig, reprising their old roles of Sulu, Rand, and Chekhov, even giving William Wyndham a chance to give Commodore Decker a happy ending, but scripts from D.C. Fontana, Mark Zicree, and David Gerrold, who finally got to produce a version of his rejected next-gen AIDS allegory script, Blood and Fire. Gerrold would later take over showrunner duties on Phase 2 until they shut down in 2016. More on that later. It was during this period that more fan groups were inspired by New Voyages, and Exeter, to build their own sets or arrange to borrow sets from other groups, and the Star Trek fan films entered something of a golden age. Which brings us to the high watermark of this cultural and creative process, Star Trek Continues. Produced by Vic Mignogna, who, besides showing up in the occasional fan film, is a noted actor in his own right, and is most well known for his work in anime voice acting, along with a cast of primarily experienced professional actors, many of them also associated with anime voice work, and production crew, as opposed to the usual group of enthusiastic amateurs, and their own batch of faithful recreations of the original sets, starting with the bridge and other set pieces acquired from Starship Farragut, another fan film production headquartered in southern Georgia, that, through bad luck, lost the loan of their warehouse that served as their soundstage. From there, more sets were recreated, eventually including a stunning recreation of main engineering. The only other production to have an engineering set was Phase 2, and they never really got to use theirs on camera. Star Trek Continues set itself apart with the stated goal of completing the 5-year mission and setting up the characters for where we find them in Star Trek the Motion Picture. And over the course of 11 full-length episodes, they accomplished that goal. What sets Star Trek Continues apart from other productions are a few key factors. Every episode was made with a concerted effort to match up as closely as possible to the look and feel of the original series, from the signature colored lighting, the camera angles, and in the age of high-def widescreen, shooting in the original 4:3 screen ratio, with added film grain added to match the look of the original 35mm film stock. The scripts were all consistent with those of the original series, that is not just an excuse to run around in costume and fight the Klingons. In fact, the Klingons don't appear once during the entire run of Star Trek Continues, although the Romulans show up at the end. Rather, the emphasis was on the traditional subtle approach to current social issues, building upon established canon, and of course, giving Vic Mignogna that chance to chew the scenery with true Shatnerian gusto. The vast majority of the cast of any episode are professional actors, with several guest stars well known to genre fans throughout the run, including Aaron Gray, John Delancey, Colin Baker, and others. Then, on June 11, 2014, the fan film community was turned upside down. famous fan Alec Peters, previously known for his dealing in rare Star Trek collectibles through his company PropWorks, released a 20-minute documentary-style short, Prelude to Axanar. Directed by Robert Meyer Burnett with visual effects by Tobias Richter, the intention was to set up the eventual production of a feature-length professional Star Trek story, Star Trek Axanar, which would tell the story of Garth of Izar, last seen in the original series episode Whom Gods Destroy, and his role in the 4 Years' War, an event prior to the original series, and largely rooted more in fan speculation than hard canon, wherein the Klingon Empire and the Federation go to war, and we learn how and why Garth became the legendary starship captain that became the boyhood hero to James Kirk. Many in the cast, with the notable exception of Peters, was a well-known Star Trek or genre veteran. Peters, of course, cast himself as Garth. The visual effects were nothing short of spectacular, and the list of premiums for different levels of contributions was staggering. Donations reached over $2 million, and plans were announced to use the production of Axanar as the basis for an independent, for-profit studio where fans would be able to come and produce their own projects in a professional-level facility. In the eyes of CBS, the current owners of Star Trek, that line where fan creators were not allowed to make any money from their projects was about to be crossed, and the lawyers were dispatched from on high, and the entire fan film community was about to pay the price for Axanar's ambitions. So it was, on December 29, 2015, CBS and Paramount Pictures filed a copyright lawsuit seeking damages in the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California, stating Axanar's works infringed their rights by making use of the Klingon language and innumerable copyrighted elements of Star Trek, including its settings, characters, species, and themes. The sword of Damocles that had hung over fan projects for decades had fallen, and Alec Peters, who likes to describe himself as a lawyer even though he's never practiced law anywhere, seems to revel in the attention and the conflict, while the entire fan film community very nearly ceased to exist in the carnage. In the middle of all this, mainly as a response to one of Peters' defenses that there weren't any guidelines to follow, so he couldn't be found guilty of violating rules that hadn't been laid down in the first place, on June 23, 2016, Paramount and CBS released Guidelines for Fan Films to head off any future mishaps and misunderstandings. The days of the property owners turning a blind eye to fan activities had come to an end. Groups that had projects already in active production were allowed to finish up as planned, allowing, for example, Star Trek Continues to complete their final batch of episodes. Phase 2, on the other hand, decided to just shut down production entirely, turning their soundstage into an officially licensed tourist attraction, giving fans around the world a reason to travel to upstate New York. Star Trek Horizon had just released a feature-length film set during the period of Star Trek Enterprise, ironically on the Starship Discovery, and were planning a sequel when they received a relatively cordial advisory from CBS not to do that, so they just abandoned the project. Everyone else pretty much sat back and started rethinking their projects. The outcome came on January 20, 2017, when all parties agreed to a settlement wherein Alec Peters and Axanar Productions promised to make substantial changes to Axanar and agreeing to abide by the newly minted Guidelines for Fan Films, meaning that instead of the planned 90-minute feature, Axanar could be no longer than 30 minutes in two 15-minute segments with no ads allowed. So on March 31st, 2024, after $2 million in contributions, over 9 years of delays, numerous lawsuits filed by Peters against former production associates and critics, copyright claims to material he doesn't really own in the first place, and while still owing CBS over $300,000 plus interest over the lawsuit settlement, their much-heralded short film, The Icarus Maneuver, was released, utilizing an extensive visual sequence directed and designed by Rob Burnett and Tobias Richter way back in 2015, a sequence Peter claimed he never got and had been stolen by Burnett, and the video was promptly taken down on orders from CBS for violation of the settlement agreement. What we'll get next from the Axanar side of the fan film quadrant is difficult to say, but it appears CBS is about to have the final say. Elsewhere in the fan film community, things are going on swimmingly, as creators adapt to the guidelines and learn where they can stretch them a bit and where they need to back off. Neutral Zone Studios, home of the Star Trek Continues sets in Kingland, Georgia, provides a production home for several fan film producers, as well as hosting periodic open houses for interested fans from all over the world. Samuel Calkins, through his Power 543 Fan Films production outfit, has produced dozens of fan films for a fraction of the budget as Axanar's handful of shorts, with visual effects easily on the same level as anything produced in the professional Star Trek productions. With nearly everyone having a high-definition camera on their phone, and video editing and CGI software available for every income, many of the obstacles in producing high-quality fan film productions have been removed, bringing everyone down to one basic starting point. Do you have a story worth telling? And do you know how to tell it? Everything else is just details. So, what's your story?
Paramount is pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
Okay, what the heck just happened here? Trying to send off a thing and something blew up on me. Anyway, what the? Hold on. Screensaver kicked on. I'm going to shut that down. Live TV, gotta love it. All right. Here we go. Wait, give me that back, and you off. There we go. Now, as I was about to. All right. Fire this off here. Cords, everywhere's cords on. Again? Hold on. Shit. Okay, so let's get that out up there. Good grief. Turn that off again. All right, get back in there. All right, now the side stuff is out of the way. Suffice it to say, no, I'm not going to say what kind of screensaver it is. Just say it's not safe for work. Okay, so it is Christmas. I think behind me, I've gotten some work done on the Batmobile. It is big. I put the Batman and Robin figures in there, partly for scale, but also it's like, I think Adam wants to start to stare at me saying, "Where's my car?" Right here. Still missing a wheel, and apparently next major packet is going to be mostly up front with the engine, the air filter, and the radiators going in. And also, they still owe me a couple of mufflers. They're kind of running short, but I figured not going to make me wait forever for a couple of mufflers. That's a really in-demand set, apparently. It's expensive as all hell, too. All right, so let's get into this here. Various Christmas stuff has come up here. Let's go right into it here. Got 3. Hold on. Get some pictures here. There we go. It's Christmas going. Okay. 3 seasonal Star Trek episodes that will put you in the celebrating spirit. Let's see how we do here. And Merry Star Trek! It's the end of December, and that usually means that a lot of Star Trek fans are gathering around fireplaces, cozying up on couches, and tuning into their favorite holiday classics. If you celebrate Christmas, this time of year carries a certain aura about it. It's a wonderful collision of gifts, lights, and dynamic designs. Sadly for Star Trek fans, there isn't a treasure trove of holiday specials. Really, the only time we see Christmas celebrated to any degree is in Star Trek Generations when Jean-Luc Picard said the family could have had while in the Nexus. Well, it's referenced, okay? Let me forget, Dagger of the Mind. Dr. Helen Noel wanted to name Noel is a pretty obvious thing there, but so she met the captain in the Science Lab Christmas party. Shared a dance. He talked about the stars. Yeah, here's the one he's citing here. Let's see. Next Generation, Tapestry. It's basically, I wouldn't call it a Christmas Carol. I would call it It's a Wonderful Life. Still, not far off the mark. Death Wish. That's really pushing it. I mean, you got one little quick reference where Q turns Voyager into a Christmas ornament, which could just as be reference to Hallmark, frankly. Where's our ornament? Okay, Devil's Due. Yeah, not really. It's it's more of a alien trying to pull a scam. It's closer to the Sting than it is the holiday thing. So there's that. But there you could do stuff. Yeah. But in the category of did Mike McMahon give us a Christmas present in the form of removing Discovery from continuity? Let's see what we got. Yep. I'm of the camp. No, they did establish it. No, it doesn't mean it. No, they did. Because everything else on there, they got a mirror universe thing. The ship keeps changing class every 5 seconds. It put Discovery in the same category, alternate timeline. Let's scroll down to get past this end. There's no denying Star Trek Discovery may be the least liked show in Star Trek history. It's not bad, but many critics describe it as un-Trek. It was dark, moody, depressing, and engaging, but in all the worst ways. The first 2 seasons felt like a show that was trying to be something that Star Trek never was. It wasn't poorly done, well, technically maybe, but the show dramatically didn't understand who its target audience was. Yeah, Star Trek fans. They tried to change things up in season 3, and it worked to a degree. However, the show had an uphill battle that it never really was able to climb because of those issues that have caused the fandom to never fully embrace the series. How about the fact they just spat in the face of Star Trek every time they had a chance? And it's like, the idea, go way in the future where you're not even bound by canon. It's still your backstory. Only now everything's your backstory. So if anything, you need to pay more attention to what the hell you're doing. They're not up to the task, okay? Okay, some fans would love for it to be expunged from the timeline, but that doesn't seem likely or even possible yet. CosmicBook.com decided they were going to boldly claim that the series was erased from the established canon. Instead, they argued that Discovery now exists in another universe, which frankly isn't true. Is it now? That's the only explanation that makes sense, Chad. Okay? Is this Chad again? Yeah. The argument is that the show takes place in a different universe because Star Trek Lower Decks claimed the purple Klingons, first seen in the Star Trek Kelvin timeline and later Discovery's first 2 seasons, are now canonically in a different universe, which isn't exactly true. Yes, it's true that Lower Decks showed Klingons changing the looks due to the multiverse effects that the series was tackling, but that's not proof that Discovery is now a show in a different... It's good enough, okay? After all, we know there's a Prime James Kirk, William Shatner, and a Kelvin James Kirk, Chris Pine. So just because something existed one time... What we got? All right. Let's bring in stuff. All right. The purple ugly orc alien. Yeah, Klingorks. Yeah.
Did you just burp, honey?
A bit. Okay. We know that Discovery isn't beloved. We know that there's a lot the fans would change, but there's a lot that fans would change. But Lower Decks doesn't have the pull to the decanon. Oh, yes, it does. It is much more firmly, held to canon and compliant with canon than Discovery ever was. It never will be. Same with Strange New Worlds. So unless Star Trek and his parent company come forward and remove Discovery Fish from the primetime land, there's nothing Lower Deck says is to be held as a new standard. Well, guess what? Again, the canon is set. Original series to the end of Enterprise. And frankly, even that last episode is questionable. But at least to the end of that Mars trilogy when, Trip and T'Pol's baby dies, There's enough, wiggle room in that cockeyed final episode that, they could still it's just a bad ribbon holodeck program. None of it takes place in Enterprise. It's one last next gen episode. But Lower Decks has fully embraced the canon. That's what all the references are about. They showed where their allegiance is, and it ain't with Discovery. Those Klingons briefly turned into Klingorks and then promptly blowing up. That was the one and only time Discovery has ever been referenced. And it's part of a thing where they're shifting dimensions and alternate timelines. Did you miss the last episode where Boimler is sick to the back teeth of alternate this and alternate that? And, So, no, they have officially shuffled off Discovery to an alternate timeline. And with it goes Strange New Worlds and Section 31. Because they're all bonded at the hip to Discovery.
Give me a damn break.
And I will take it, okay? It's no longer just, that doesn't fit and that doesn't fit. Now it's like, no. McMahon just gave us a big old birthday present, a big old Christmas present. For that one move. So sorry, kids. Discovery is now officially an alternate timeline. And actually, the comics, if they're going, they're still going. The new comics are canon. Well, the new comics just killed off the Kelvin timeline. I think the editors at IDW finally decided we're not getting another Kelvinverse unit. Go ahead and kill it off.
Yay.
So let's go ahead and bring up the next one here. Were there any new Star Trek ornaments that released in 2024? Well, it's always, they always do it. It's the yearly thing. Whether they're any good is another question. Okay, Star Trek has had many great ideas when it comes to branding over the years, but few leave as indelible mark as their brand agreement with the Hallmark Company. They're now known for cheesy love stories centered around holidays or vacations, usually with the same three plots, just usually with different set dressings. Yet once upon a time, they were known more for their work and their ornament and greeting card work. Well, they still are, okay? Let's not get stupid, okay? You got Hallmark stores everywhere, and it's greeting cards and decorations. So, that's not...
honey.
The Hallmark channel is not completely taken over, okay?
Hey, dumb nuts.
What?
Okay. Was that ornament I got from the Q&A Continuum new one?
Yeah.
Okay.
The little figure of Spock in the Next Generation. And then there's a motion picture movie fight. But they big. Look bigger in the picture. The picture of the box is bigger than the actual ornament. And the box is kind of small. All right. Yep, once upon a time, known for over there. Things they still do, but just aren't what they're most known for. Yes, they are. Okay, pull your head out of your ass and get off cable. Okay. There was a time, however, that arguably the most sought after and desired ornaments were their Star Trek collaborations. Okay, they bring various ships to the market, small enough to hang from a tree, but large enough to appreciate the fine details that come along with Star Trek designs. Been such a staple over the years that Hallmark continues to make them just new and different every year. And each and every year, fans flock to try and find them. Well, with Christmas right around the corner, we thought we'd... Date was just posted? Yeah, this came in my email today, Sparky. It's not around the corner. It's here. Okay. Okay, so we got the Enterprise refit. You have the 2024 version. They've done it before. Yeah, a little, little bitty Spock is less than 2 inches tall. Okay, the Enterprise B. I think the next generation Unification 2. I think that's the one with Spock and Data. Probably understand. We'll sell it. The Keeper one, I guess, from the Cage. And Strange New Worlds, Captain Christopher Pike ornament with sound. I'll pass. Okay. 2 ships joined the selection tier, the Enterprise Refit and the Enterprise B. Enterprise B had a variant that had damage from battle, but those were rare and only for select conventions. Yeah. One of those like Comic-Con exclusive thing. Or that thing, or Vegas Con. 4 characters got a figure. Spock for the... You just listed everything up top there, Sparky. Okay? What the hell are you doing? If you're gonna do all the, insert the descriptions along with the list. Don't just list and then they're describing. It's like, what the hell? You're repeating yourself here. Come on. And you're still going to proofread your shit. Okay. So let's. We got one more here. I think for the really late bloomer here. Rachel Carrington, 20 hours ago. So talk about last minute. Like, I guess you can buy without leaving your house. Well, that's pretty much anything these days, okay? It's Christmas Eve and nearing the time. Yeah, it was Christmas. Stores are closed. You're almost out of opportunities. Get that gift. Been looking forward. Maybe you've made a new friend through the Star Trek community and you'd like to send them a gift. There are several opportunities to let them know you're thinking of them without leaving the comfort of your home. Star Trek Shop eGift, yeah, the official Star Trek store is online, and they got a lot of good stuff. And gift cards in general are pretty much a safe, go-to no matter what. Just if you know what kind of stuff they shop, just buy a gift card for the place and here, knock yourself out. Yeah, no expiration date. So yeah. And see, original set tour gift. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, this is for the Ticonderoga sets. And Shatner does show up there a lot. I would like to see his reaction if he ever showed up on the Star Trek Continue sets, though. Because that's where you'd see some real flashbacks. Okay, this is what it was like. Yeah. Okay, Kindle Unlimited. Made surprised. Well, yeah, Kindle. Kindle's pretty safe. That you can buy whatever the hell you want, not limited to just Star Trek. A novel, a comic book, straight to their Kindle. Isn't that just what you just put up here?
I just hope Shatner hasn't bought into the bullshit from those 2 little twat waffles from Funimation.
Shatner and Vic know each other personally, okay? And if there's one person on this planet who knows something about, muckraking crap, it's Shatner, okay? Yes, the ham came out well. But yeah. No, it was Vic made the conservative, not even mention the word Star Trek to Shatner for about a year. Because he knew the second he would, if he did that too soon, Shatner would be running for the hills. Oh my God, another fanboy.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was his last wife, Elizabeth, that pointed out the Star Trek Continue series.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, hey, have you seen this? And then Vic was there. And oh, geez.
Oh, boy. Yeah, Vic must have been going, oh, my God.
Well, okay. Known well enough, long enough. Here we go.
I've been outed by his wife.
Well, I don't know. Shatner he seemed impressed. I don't know, but in fact, it'll be one day if we could get Mignogna on here to talk about some of the stuff. Okay, how did Shatner take seeing you doing him? Okay, it's like because during the production there was this concerted effort to avoid doing Shatner, just do Kirk,
Mm-hmm.
try to do Kirk as he was on the show, because there's one bit I heard, where someone said, how much of Vic right now is in Captain Kirk, and Vic came back as little as humanly possible.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, the whole point is to finish out the original series, not put his spin on it. Continue it as he felt that this would have continued in the same vein and the same kind of stories, but also the characterizations. So he made a point to play Kirk as we saw him, which inevitably kind of led to doing a certain degree of Shatner, because Shatner made a point of just playing the character as himself, because he knew the backbreaking work of doing a series, especially when it's the Dominion of Star Trek. There's no way you're going to be able to maintain and create a character and keep that up. It's going to slip and just be your own natural reaction to something. You're going to read the line as yourself anyway. So just screw it, just get that out of the way right off the bat. That was actually probably what big problem that Nimoy had, is he was trying to maintain a character and really putting a heart in, and that gets kind of backbreaking, and it really kind of contributed to being a working alcoholic, because he wasn't able to disengage that character. Over the weekend, they're watching some comedy on the TV, everyone's laughing their ass, so he's just sitting there just maybe lift an eyebrow, or during story meetings, he just suddenly start burst out crying for no reason whatsoever. Just the emotion had to come out somewhere. It played hell with it for a while.
Yeah, I still remember that story about little Adam Nimoy coming up on the set.
What story? What story? It's in the bloopers.
Well, you know what I mean.
And a couple of behind the scenes pictures of them. I doubt they went to the expense of doing full cat. You just a couple of spare ears, stuck them on there, and there we go.
Yeah, I could just imagine that. Oh my God.
You don't have to imagine it. They got the damn blooper reel.
If I had been him and my kid suddenly walked up behind me and said, "I love you, Daddy," I'd be hard pressed to maintain my character.
Well, that was kind of the point. When you got a guy trying to do that kind of character and really trying to be he busts out laughing enough times anytime, but anytime they could get old Stoneface over there to crack one,
Oh, kind of like the guards at Buckingham Palace, huh?
The difference is the guards at Buckingham Palace will kill you. These are not just showboat. These guys are fully they're fully trained British Army officers. Okay, those guns are real. If you pose an actual threat, you will go down. Okay. It will not be pretty. It will not be pleasant.
Laugh, dear.
Yeah. Well, again, they just shut it off. Nope, not reacting. You're there to guard the palace. Not to engage with anybody. Because you do that, they can distract you, and while somebody else sneaks behind you. No, you're there to watch it. The horses are also not buying it either. Some cases, I've seen some. When, especially if someone shows up, full Hajib and Burke and stuff, but the horses do not react well. They see a threat and they will bite you. So any Muslim tourist, planning on going, to visit Buckingham Palace, it's like, don't go all wrapped up like a hefty bag,
for security reasons alone, it's like I don't think they're really inclined to let the horses. No, don't worry. No, we don't know what's under that outfit. Especially if you got up to just the eyes, we don't even know if it's really a woman. Okay, could be a 13-year-old boy who's figured this is my trip to paradise in the 72 virgins,
which are really raisins.
Yeah, man. Like the Robin Williams thing, Osama bin Laden gets up there and promptly beaten up by George Washington, and John's like, "What? You idiot! It was 72 Virginians." All right. Well,
I just saw another Hitler rants video this morning.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Hitler reacting to Merry Christmas.
I need to see how much it's going to cost to finally just buy the damn Adobe Premiere. Just get that set up again. And I was rather proud of that. My little Hitler reacts video. I should have submitted as evidence, frankly. If anybody's going to, complain about it, hey, here it is, right here. I rather like this. That took some work, goddammit. I'd play it now, but I get demonetized. So, but I think I can put a link to it here.
Careful with that.
No, just a link to it. It's I suppose now that I mentioned, I shouldn't the 80s Christmas offerings, nice costumes, but the videos themselves, the Jack Frost one is a total waste of time.
In other words, they suck.
Well, it's just like, all right, so she does a foot job and I think, what? Who cares? I mean, the costumes are nice. So if you're interested in some tips on cosplay stuff, fine. You want to see the cat and one of her dogs romping about, it's like, okay. But otherwise, it's like, really? And the Krampus video, the video looks okay from what I've seen. Okay.
Merry Christmas, crazy
Merry
ones.
Christmas. Yes.
I might be a little spoiled today.
Just a bit. The big popcorn thing back there?
No, that's not actually popcorn in it. That's everything you see behind me here, except for one bag of popcorn way back there, is all gourmet nuts and low sugar chocolates and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I might be a little spoiled today.
Just a bit. Yeah.
Yum, yum, yum.
Yes.
I suppose you spoiled the free Meowsketeers.
Yeah, and then I trimmed their claws because they were getting themselves hooked and everything.
Sucker them in with the treats, and then now gotcha. All right, where is that damn video?
I bet you I can show you something that turned out to have not much sugar in it that would make Stephanie drool. Cinnamon brown sugar planter cashews.
Oh.
Yum.
Or cinnamon pistachios.
Ooh.
By the way, I'm a little spoiled today.
I've
also got a bunch of macadamias, really salty for munching.
There we are.
A bunch of bags of ones that are lightly salted that I'm going to be using. I'm going to be making a caramelized monk fruit glaze with cinnamon and cardamom to make roasted macadamias with.
Okay. Posting the link to that Hitler reaction.
That are diabetic friendly. There'll be no sugars added to them. So I suppose Steph will want me to mail her a little of them to try, right?
Yeah.
A little.
Because they sell really good quality big bags of macadamias, decent price at Fleet Farm. But they don't have a very good sugar. It's not sugar, but salt on them. And I can't eat low salt nuts. It's gross.
That's un-American.
Yeah.
Well, to those who want to complain about sodium issues and stuff, I am sodium deficient. I have to eat higher amounts of salt to function my body. So.
So how's Mr. Hottie?
Spoiled.
Mm-hmm.
And considering some of the gifts he gave me, I think I know what he wants to do tonight.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. You know, just for starters, we can imagine that.
I got some very interesting gifts.
Well, as this is Christmas Day and a family show, I'm not going to be going into details.
Oh.
But I gave him 2 bath bombs that make him think of me.
Mm-hmm. Now, I posted the link to my Hitler Reacts video in there, so feel free to peruse that. It's about a year old. I still like it. It took some doing to get all edited up right.
Check the private chat.
Oh dear. Yep. That seems about on point. Yeah.
They smell really good.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
I think it's just what my husband needs for the inspiration for him to want to take a bath and soak. I mean,
yeah. Okay.
And
let's see.
down to where I can actually bathe instead of shower.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna get me some of those CBD bath bombs over at American Shaman.
If we could possibly mount handles on them, but the thing is, a wall
or
paper thin, we couldn't do anything.
Or you could bulk order the cheap bath bombs from Walmart, get a bottle of CBD oil, and just put a couple drops on each one. Much more affordable.
Mm-hmm.
That is an idea.
Mm-hmm. But my internet seems to have healed somewhat.
I had to come wish you guys a Merry Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Aw.
It took a long time this morning to go through all the gifts. And we had a gnome signed in during it because he sent several gifts to us. He was waiting to see our reactions. And then at the end of that, we came in here to the computer where he proceeded to send me a bunch of gift codes to get a bunch of video games free.
Oh,
sweet.
nice.
Including several of the Persona games.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm spoiled today.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and the amount of art supplies and crafts I got from people is insane. Oh boy, I'm gonna have a lot of crap to make.
I have to open a Hobby Lobby outlet store.
Well, everybody knows I'm getting rid of the bulky stuff or the things that are easily breakable and stuff, so I can streamline my crafts. So I got a lot of like little flat wood ornaments to paint and stuff like that. Things that basically work with that. I got a bunch of dragon wood ornaments to paint.
Oh, I don't know if you see back at the come on.
What are you doing, honey?
Well, I was gonna see behind me here. You got the chassis built for the put together for the Batmobile. It's quite large.
One of the things, because we did a few advents together this year, one of the things my husband gave me was this little build your own charm series advent. So the whole point was that you open up a advent day and you get this charm bracelet, and then you build your stuff onto it, right? Well, I did that, but it had way more beads than I needed because it's supposed to be people pick and choose what they want. And I'm not using a cheap fabric cord that came with it. So first I built the bracelet with the Euro bead charms that came with it.
All right.
And then I took some of the leftover sterling plated necklace chains I had. And I built several Euro bead necklaces, which usually sell for a lot in the stores.
All right.
Cool.
Okay.
And all of that came out of that little advent my husband got me. He also got me one that was 24 days of different essence oil bottles for my medical work.
I wonder if there's, because this year, apparently the Star Trek Advent calendar, where basically at the end you've built yourself a little model of the Enterprise D.
There's a lot of ones where you build a little bit every day, like puzzles, 3D models, stuff like that are really common, actually, Advents.
Yeah.
What I've been noticing is because I follow a lot of the people who work in beauty work and stuff like that, or response stuff. These name brands sell their Advents for anything from like 100 to 5,000, and a lot of them are absolute trash. And and I do mean trash. Holy shite, some of this stuff. And so my goal next year is when they start releasing the ones for this year in July, August, to collect a few each, check with my budget, and do a 24 days of showing people how to get affordable Advents from places like local stores and Amazon that are of good quality and better than the crap you're getting from these expensive ones.
Oh, honey.
What?
Did she see the ornament I got from the Q&A continuum?
Which also is why I still need to mail this over to Fatal.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, honey.
Yeah, what they've got was this dinky little, Spock ornament.
Why don't you
got this to build?
Because it means I got to get up and thread my way through the wreckage here.
Understand that our Mad Matt would be very proud of me right now. I got a couple of these different Gundam models to build today.
Yeah.
Matt would be proud of me.
Oh, yeah. No, I was up to 4 a.m. putting that Batmobile together. That's what I've got so far.
So I've been extremely spoiled today. I even got a stuffy Anya from Spy Family.
Oh, boy.
I'm feeling spoiled. And there were a lot of gnomes in the Christmas stuff this year.
Oh, boy.
Including, by the way, Lydian opening the gifts we sent him. One of which was a pack with like 5 or 6 different little hanging ornament style stuffy gnomes. One of which I didn't tell him what it was until he opened it. He did actually end up liking it. Somebody built a gnome style version of Gandalf with him smoking a giant doobie while flipping somebody off. This is perfect for Lydian. He opened that and he was actually beaming. He liked it so much.
Oh, I did ask about did the pennies work on Wizards? Yes, they did. It was like from Wendy herself in an interview or something. How much she did all this work, but they bunked it up. They didn't, were uncredited.
So I got this book, which the outside artwork of this book is absolutely hideous. And yes, it's just an adult coloring book, but like you go inside it and it's all like intricate gnome houses, gnomes and unicorns and stuff. Really fancy adult style colorings.
Yeah.
But the book is like as gaudy little girl as you can get on the cover. But we were working on it last night. See?
Oh.
This is going to be a bitch to do. If you can actually see how detailed this is, that little keyhole has an entire kitchen design in it. That
real good.
Fade.
Real good in the shading there.
This is why I'm a good colorist, people.
Yeah.
Look how flat the image is, and look how 3D where I colored it.
Oh, yeah.
But that took hours overnight to get that part done.
Yeah.
So
that's why a good colorist is worth the money, Fit Coach.
Oh, I can't wait till tomorrow.
Yes, we'll be one of the few houses in few households in the United States to be celebrating Boxing Day, mainly because I get paid. You can actually do something.
Oh,
Steph, I don't get any birthday gifts from you this year, Steph.
I wish I could. Might get you one a little late, but it's like
you could always just have Bob send me a game off my wish list on Steam from you.
That'd probably be best.
Yeah.
It's probably cheaper than trying to send physical packages right now.
Because again, part of this whole past few months has been digging out of the hole we got landed in.
So Steamy sent me a game.
Oh.
He sent me the Animal Shelter game, which eats up a shit ton of memory, but it's nice. Anime sent me a couple inappropriate perverted games.
Of course.
Well, along with getting me the Liar's Bar so we could play that whole roulette thing.
Because he is, perverted and inappropriate. So.
And then Lydian gave me 6 full premium games today. 3 Personas. Core Keeper. Garden Life and Coral Island. So you got me a lot of my world building stuff I can do easier with my reflexes. So he got me RPGs and world building. He knows me.
And honey, for the record, when I said I was looking forward to tomorrow, I wasn't talking about Boxing Day.
No, I'm talking about the fact I get paid.
Yeah, well, I wasn't talking about that either.
Then what?
You know what?
No, I don't know what. If I'm be asking what.
Therapy.
Oh, that, yeah. Yeah, she gets to meet with a therapist video call, but no.
I have a very twisted sense of humor right now, and I've got ideas. I will say that me and Steve definitely gave each other our share of inappropriate gifts.
Oh, I'm sure.
And we did not make the gnome sign out to receive them either. So he just sat there laughing while we were giving them to each other.
And I'm sure we'll be putting those to use later tonight. The laugh says it all. Okay.
I'm a good little wife.
And again, be proving that tonight when they start actually utilizing the weird little gifts. Now, there's an Adam and Eve store on Colfax. The one bad thing about being stuck on the bus is you can't just,
I did not realize that my husband had the capability to track down that many sexy outfits in my boob size.
The internet is a wonderful thing.
Boobs.
Calm yourself.
Of course, bearing in mind that one of them has nothing around the boobs, that makes it easier for him, right? It's like, well, there's nothing there for the boobs, so didn't have to worry about that on that one.
Yeah. Actually, the big reason I finally decided to, get into therapy is because I read Zachary Levi's book.
How do I put this delicately? You belong in therapy, darling.
Oh, kiss my ass.
Whatever gets you there, fine. Okay.
Sweetie.
Yeah.
I'm going to defer that to your husband because I wouldn't even kiss a male ass, yet alone some smelly female.
Oh, fuck you.
Since I know where that ass has been, what it's been doing, no.
Oh, shut up, asshole. Yeah, but after reading Zachary Levi's book, I was like, yeah, maybe I should check this out.
It took that much to get her to understand that she needs psychological help.
You're talking about a Lirpa? There's no ta, man. Just,
Apparently, Zachary Levi has been through his own hell and back, so.
Most of us have.
Yeah.
I gave Steve, I got this from a guy. Tell me if you think this is dangerous for me. Remember I told you about Turtle Power Games opening in the mall and they doing all the trader stuff for nerd things?
Okay.
The store next to them is not vacant anymore. It's now being run by a native guy selling handmade native art.
Oh boy.
It's like, screw the rest of the mall. These 2 stores, that's it. Okay.
That's what we did last time when we went there Christmas shopping. We parked at the door closest to that, went to the native shop, over to the Turtle Power Games, and then left. That was it. It was like, we're done.
Yep.
I got Steve a queen size, really thick, stitched, quilted velour wolf blanket at that native shop.
Okay.
And it weighs 11 pounds. It's so thick, quilted velour.
Oy.
He opened it up as the first thing we opened this morning. I was sitting there shivering, and it ended up wrapped around me for 4 hours while we did gifts. He's like, that's my blanket. And meanwhile, the cats are literally fighting over it and rubbing on it, trying to mark it. And he goes, that's my blanket. They turn and look at him and hiss.
Yeah.
It's like,
not now anymore. Not anymore.
Oh, and honey, apparently they've moved Chris Kindle Market again.
Now where?
Well, it was in Civic Center Park. I forget where it's moved to now. But
No, Larimer Square had a pretty good setup, when I was down there.
I think there was one year where it was outside Cherry Creek Mall.
Yeah. That was weird,
I might be pedaling a bit hard. I'm kind of wound from Christmas right now, so. But this picture before me, oh my God, it's going to take me forever. I anticipate it taking forever. Because I'm a perfectionist. Everything's got to be shaded, and then everything's got to be outlined in spots too. It's like I sit there and I redraw edges I don't think are perfect. I add thickening lines to places where it connects different depth points of the image, all this stuff. I mean, there's a reason I did some work on some colorist jobs for comics, because they looked at my wit and went,
She good. Yeah. Now I just figured why tell her in a mock time, as Tapao is laying out the rules here. She had a heavy accent, Siyolowski. And the language, if both survive the Lirpa, then the combat will continue with the Almoon. And again, both survive the Lirpa.
I'm just
so
trying
how
to
are
figure.
the little shits?
They're little shits. I already gave you guys an update of what I did with them today.
She needs constant reassurance that they're little shits. No.
They're cute little shits, though.
No.
I trimmed their claws, and Ornery whined a bit but didn't fight. Glared at me and then went over and asked Steve for a treat, because she knows that she gets a treat if she doesn't claw at me when I'm doing it. I did Panther, and it was kind of the same. A little passive pull the paw away as resistance, but nothing aggressive.
Yep.
Goes over, looks for his treat. Pick baby girl up and she does not seem to understand that the treat is contingent on behaving. The moment you pick up a pair of clippers to go near her claws, she starts acting like a holy terror that you caught in the wild and are trying to tame.
Aww.
And she continues to act that way until you finally either finish or stop.
Yeah.
Thing is, I'm too stubborn.
Yeah.
And at one point, I'm doing it on my own because she's over here and Steve can't get at where it's at because of where I'm sitting and the stuff around me. So he couldn't help hold her still. So I'm doing it on my own. She jumps, tries to run, and I catch her and pull down. And she ends up landing next to Steve, at which way he bends over, grabs her paws, and holds them.
Yeah.
And she just looks like crap.
Oh, yeah. This didn't work out well, didn't it?
No. She had that mortified face like, crap, what do I do now?
No.
She is such a goofball.
The thing is that when I go out in the living room and I get work done, I sit on the couch, wrapped in my blanket, and I work at my table out there. I sit down, and as soon as I sit down and pull the blanket around me, Arnie comes running up, jumps up, climbs in the blanket, and lays down by my feet.
Aw.
Within the next 2 minutes, I will have baby girl here and Panther here, both laying on the edge of my lap and the blanket, rubbing on me, purring.
Aw.
But I'm trying to get work done.
Yeah.
And they don't want me to work. So every time I try to reach the stuff on the table and work, they will grab my arm physically and try to pull it back.
Wait.
Aw, typical kitties.
The pussy needs stroking. I mean,
Yes.
Yes.
Interesting.
Rub that pussy.
In 5 years, though, the 50th anniversary of the Star Trek motion picture. Who's going to be left at this point?
Do you feel old yet, Bob?
Again, that particular day, that's like, a little more than just seeing the movie. It's also, my dad pulled me out of school so we can go see it. And first thing I think, my dad didn't want. He was kind of a frustrated geek at heart,
I will put stuff this way because I kind of feel like it's the best way to express it.
Yeah, I think Shatner may outlive us all. Okay.
I didn't have to get pulled out of school for anything. Because except for the time I was in that piece of shit private school, I was homeschooled my whole childhood.
Yeah.
And my mom felt that cultural events, museums, explorations in the woods, stuff like that, were part of the schooling experience.
Yeah.
We didn't get out of schoolwork. We just got everything pushed onto the other days and had to do even more.
Everything is now a field trip.
Yeah. Because everything we did that had anything where we could be learning from it, we had to carry journals and write everything down we were doing with Mom as we did it. And she'd test us on what she told us and taught us during that time.
Oh, boy.
My mom was militant as a teacher. Which could explain a little bit of my perfectionist side.
Could be, yeah.
Could even explain a little bit of why that picture looks like it does with a little bit of tiny details. Again, we had to get 96% or better on every lesson plan. Everything we did, everything we studied. The tests and the final work had to be 96% or better, or we had to redo the entire lesson plan and test.
Boy.
Oh, boy.
I asked Mom, and she said, "No, I wouldn't do this to every kid, but I knew you guys could do it."
The time to push kids is when they're kids, okay? And they're learning the limits, and they're open to this type of thing,
Like part of me is going, at least she's not pushing people beyond their capabilities.
No.
She's looking at people individually and going, "You're capable of this. So get your ass in gear and do it."
I think I'm gonna try my own little hand at coloring some stuff here.
Oh, honey. Remember that video I started watching this morning?
Which one? You've done through a few.
The history of the ugly Christmas sweater.
Oh, boy.
You were in the room when I started.
Yeah, I know. It's a Fox Nation thing. They're pretty kind of tongue-in-cheek, though. They really kind of hammed it up a bit.
Hey, speaking of which, that little mini Christmas movie that I played for you that had Beck in it, should we play that for Steph when we get off air?
Yeah. Sure.
It's funny.
I'm going to move this one over. Now that I got Paint Shop Pro up and working again, let's put these over here. And again, part of the thing of, And my dad being a major frustrated geek.
I bet I could make Steph hungry with what I'm going to do.
Here we are.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to have the salted caramel Rebel. But I'm going to have it soft, and I'm going to blend some Saigon cinnamon into it.
Okay, we got a question here for the panel. Never. It's the foundation of the whole thing. Without the original series, Without the original series, there is no franchise.
It could literally be the year 3000. Cinnamon?
Mm-hmm.
It could literally be the year 3000. Part of history of this world, part of history of technology was shaped by Star Trek. There will never be a point where it's irrelevant in history or culture.
Yeah.
It may not be currently known or understood, but it will always have a relevant significance it played in helping shape humanity's adaptations and changes.
Mm-hmm.
So, first, we soften it up here. And then we turn it basically into soft serve, and we add cinnamon.
Mm-hmm.
Yum, 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 yum.
That reminds me, didn't you say something about maybe doing those root beer floats today, honey?
Yeah, since we only have like 2 root beers left.
Yeah, Rebel, by the way, I have found one of my favorite floats to do with the Rebel vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
I actually just that Rebel salted caramel or snickerdoodle, because you got that spice level with the vanilla, and then do a float with it with Dr. Pepper's diet vanilla cream soda. It is so good.
Mm-hmm.
I have learned ways to have treats without killing myself. So yes, here is gourmet Saigon cinnamon. Add some to the ice cream because I am a cinnamon addict. And anybody who wants to give me crap about my weight issues and having ice cream, it's diet ice cream and it's fucking Christmas. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I eat the stuff too.
Literally the only thing I would ever really splurge for and have sugars for before the diabetic issues from the meds was ice cream. Oh God, that caramel cinnamon mix is good. Mm-hmm. Yummy, 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 yummy. Also, I'm not just having a pork roast tonight. We're having 2 roasts. My husband's roasting in different pans in the oven at the same time.
Ah.
One's pork and one's lamb.
Okay.
By the way, I've been spoiled all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And tomorrow we're going to go do my eagle drives and hunts for my photos. And I just have to announce all this on stream so that all my haters who stalk your streams can watch this and squirm like the little buckhorns that they are. I mean, thank you, Tiki. You're so helpful.
Oh.
Show my little thing here. This paint by number set. Originally, my dad had this. And I spent the last 50 years literally trying to track one down again because it magically disappeared one day in our house in North Glen. Another thing I can blame my mother for.
Yes, we can blame a lot of things on your mother.
Now I need to get back and okay, which color is which here? Because the face is obvious. You'll flesh down, but
my mom didn't have any way to have anybody with her for this Christmas. And I left only part of the stuff I had for her for gifts at her place.
Mm-hmm.
Because, busy. And I couldn't find them all, and I had to make an emergency trip over to help, and I didn't have time to find them all at the time.
Yeah. Save that progress.
So we talked last night.
What?
And while we were talking, she opened up the gifts. And then we made a plan. Because I have to go over for a few weeks to a couple months in spring to avoid a certain season in Iowa here that causes me medical issues. Combination of lilacs and all the farmers getting the chemical treatments done on their farms. So we decided, since Christmas isn't the actual time when he would have been born anyways, at all, we're just going to have a late Christmas celebration together when I get there with all her gifts.
Okay.
Which reminds me, honey.
What?
We need to send her 2 copies of that Kevin Sorbo movie. One for her and one for Mama.
Oh, and here is the other kicker for today.
Okay.
One of the best parts of this whole day. So there's a gift from Lydian, which shows that he's accepting his place as gnome.
Oh.
He tracked down and sent, not just for me and my husband, but also a copy for my mom of the collector's DVD of the Little Troll Prince.
Aww. Yeah, but I definitely want to get those movies out to her soon.
Well,
I need to make your coasters because those I can fit into the small box with the nuts I want to make you.
Okay. Like I said, once we can finally
control the bigger stuff, but that I can do.
Once we can finally get cleared a bit, financially wise.
Okay, I'm gonna have a little extra cinnamon in these last bites.
There's a reason why the banner's going along the bottom, kids. Okay, I'm like $25 away from getting paid.
I am 16 cents away from a payout.
I'm about $25 away. That's your YouTube. Yeah, you don't get paid until it clears $100. Okay. In my case, it's not going to make it this year.
Yeah, I don't know if Bob told you, but the other day I had to take out yet another float to get him back home because the bus blew right on by him.
Of course.
Yeah, wasn't it you and another guy that were waiting?
Yeah, I went there, and I've been waiting there like half an hour, and just didn't even slow down.
And you were at the bus stop.
There are plenty of people at the bus stop.
That seems about right.
Yeah.
So
because it's a union job, so they had diminishing goals. I mean, that was how Gallagher described the pyramids. The reason why they got so narrow at the top is because it was a union job, so they had diminishing goals.
Kind of like there was some studies like I think some of these guys are not willing to give up the romantic notion of like pushing these huge blocks up a ramp. No, some indication that they were cast in place in a primitive form of concrete. Which makes
Don't get me wrong. There was a massive amount of abuse and slavery involved in making them.
Yeah, but
yeah, I just finished reading.
Pyramids are mostly made by real believers in the pharaoh.
Yeah, I just finished reading the killing of Karen Silkwood again. Oh boy, that was a clusterfuck.
Yeah. No, I remember that, but the composition of the rock, of the stones in the pyramids, like this isn't really. It's like more like it was they just ground everything up and just cast it in place. So.
In order to do that, they would have to give away this Eurocentric view of history that says things only exist once Europeans discover it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Which the Eurocentric telling of history is still a real problem.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, how many things do Europeans claim they invented that were used for hundreds or thousands of years by other cultures before they ever knew it existed?
Yeah.
And the same with the whole claim of, well, this was an untamed land with no countries here before. No, it's just no countries that you wanted to recognize because you didn't know it existed, you lazy shits.
Yeah.
There were land borders here. There were governments. There were leaders. It was absolutely not just wild.
Yeah.
We didn't have your system of government. Whoop-de shit, all right?
Yeah.
I mean, pasta is one thing that, it's like, yeah, we think the Italians invented it, but...
No, they got it from the Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, they did it way better than the Chinese.
Yes, yeah. It's like, you get it like, oh, we can improve this. Come on. Okay, the noodle is interesting, but, it's still, You can also make more shapes than just noodles,
Bearing in mind, Mexicans and Spanish did not create tacos. Natives did. They just changed it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we saw what they changed it into and went, hey, wait a sec. We add some of that to our tacos.
Yeah.
And now we have Indian tacos that are basically half Indian, half Hispanic.
Yeah. Well, actually...
Really fucking tasty. I mean...
A lot of even to British archaeology, there's still a big blind spot. Because the thing of, it's in one invasion after another. No, not really. There's a lot of native British culture.
Actually, honey?
What?
I think that's what we had over at Tokabi that one time.
Probably. Don't interrupt me. But, again, the series I keep going, Britain BC and Britain AD, Francis Pryor, who's also in the on Time Team back in the day, but the thing about, we have really not been told the true history of these islands, people. There's only really 3 big invasions, and those are documented, very well known: the Romans, the Vikings, and the Normans.
Fucking.
Because especially when they're talking about, one skeleton found, Cheddar Man is what they call him, because he's in the near the town of Cheddar. They're in DNA. He is genetically indistinguishable from anyone born in Britain today. So no, it wasn't some Celt from across the channel. No, it's just native. It basically amounts to cultural appropriation has been the great British pastime for thousands of years. Celtic language comes over from traders. Hey, we like that. We'll start doing that. A lot of Roman stuff comes over. It's like, well, yeah, the Romans did come over. They kind of had to get invited because they tried invading once and got kicked back. I mean, Julius Caesar himself said, forget it. They're nuts.
The thing is, there's the fine line between what would actually be true cultural appropriation versus what they call it. Because we all adapt and learn from each other. We all take things from what we've experienced. We all What I consider to be true cultural appropriation is taking and bastardizing something against what they actually believe. Like, the people try to mix mysticism and Eastern religions with native culture.
Yeah, that's misappropriation.
But that's what cultural appropriation to me is. Otherwise, we all learn and adapt from our interactions with each other. Always.
Yeah. But
like all this done with respect. Good. We're expanding the culture.
But they still keep hanging on to this thing from Bede about, the Anglo-Saxon invasion and stuff. And it's like, he made it up. Okay. He was trying to create a great British myth. He made it up. The archaeology is not there for a big influx of Anglo-Saxons. Okay. They had a few traders here and there. A few thousand traders moved in and set up shop, but that's it. There's no indication of any, because it doesn't matter how nice they are. Somebody starts moving the thing, someone's going to fight back. and there's no evidence of any fighting.
Well, they still try to portray like all natives are willing to trade anything for beads because one tribe did, but also
No.
Yeah. The tribe that you signed the accord with and you gave them all of these actual gemstone and precious metal beads did not have control of the land that they gave in return for it. Holy shit.
So basically, the old Brooklyn Bridge saying, hello, thank you. No.
Oh, by the way, if you want to follow me, look for Eagle Rider with a busty chick.
Yeah. Yeah, let's put a thing on that one. Yes.
Wow.
We need more people to see.
Thank you.
The super chats do work. Okay.
Thank you.
That means I'm making a $100 check next month. Okay. I sort of wonder how the hell these guys bring in thousands of dollars a night on super chats. And I'm slaving away here. Like, oh, that is one thing. I think finally might be getting Doomcock to back off of it because he had NQ. I appreciate it. But he's crowing about how Lower Decks has removed Discovery from the timeline, or at least, shut it off to an alternate timeline, which you all knew about. It's like, yeah, I came back. Yeah, you think maybe you want to give Lower Decks another shot now?
Well,
I've been saying for a while, it is proper Star Trek. Just get past the animation style and the humor. There's a lot of actual good Star Trek going on there. In other words, April was right. Okay.
I'm still not happy with him.
I'm not, that pleased with him. No, I still got, but I think there's, there is reconciliation time because he's mainly on the other. Wasn't anything done directly to him. He may be taking offense on behalf of, the crap between us and Mexican Iron Man, which is, like I said, we may be friendly again, but I will never trust him again because he threw us under the damn bus at the worst possible time.
Yeah.
But.
And apparently he has a history of that.
Anyway, we'll just put this up here. Yep.
I have to throw my link out there, considering how much I work on here and help with this channel.
Yes.
I am going to add my birthday stream to my channel too, not just the Knights of the Anime Table. So Sunday is my birthday party. And my actual birthday. It's not even near it. It's being on it. So Sunday I'll be streaming most of the day on that channel and on Knights of the Anime Table. And that will be my birthday celebration.
Hopefully I'll get to see some putty cats.
Oh, I'm sure they'll be invading somewhere.
Steph, you've got to stop obsessing over my pussy. It's not healthy.
What can I say? They're cute.
There's obsessing over everybody's cat. Whenever Mackie calls, it's like, how's Harlow? Sitting on the chair and glaring at her. What do you want?
Yes, I know my pussy is cute. My husband tells me that all the time, Steph.
Right before he violates it, Wrong
pussy, dear.
You're the one who walks into these jokes. What am I supposed to do? Not take it.
You're the one making the double entendres there, so blame yourself.
She does it all the time. She walks into these jokes and then goes, "You're taking the jokes at my expense." It's like, you dropped me easy off. Of course I'm gonna fucking swing. What do you want?
It's a fucking T-ball setup, for God's sakes. Come on.
I say I like her cats, and that's
you know goddamn well what you're doing, woman.
Oh, fuck you.
I've got to try to figure out how to put this together.
Well, I'm sure there's directions.
Yeah, about that. I opened it up.
Maybe it's all Japanese.
Yes.
There's pictures, aren't there?
With my learning issues, I have trouble with that. So,
yeah, I think I've dealt with Bandai before. It's like, there's the Mandalorian model. It's like,
about that, it's not even a small one. It's multiple sheets.
Oh no,
yeah. Granted, I got this at Michael's.
Yeah, I've seen them at the Hobby Lobby too. So. They got quite a bit.
Yeah, well, I
quite a few
may
guns in
go
there.
to Hobby when I'm desperate, but I'm still fucking pissed at them for defending the manager who
Yeah.
harassed me and kicked me out for having ticks.
Yeah.
So they can go fuck themselves. But anyway, sorry.
Well, Hobby Lobby's got a better model selection than Michael's does. So, yeah. They're also a little closer, I think. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, there's a link to her channel in the chat there. You're muted.
What?
She's muted. Steve.
Hobby Lobby lost great status to me when they defended a manager who was abusive to somebody for Tourette's.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of
I mean, you could blame.
Yeah.
You could blame it on the local store, but but corporate backed them up. So it's like,
Yeah, repeatedly.
Mm.
Yeah, that reminds me of something. This one time when I went to visit our friend Paul in New York, went to the local IHOP just to have breakfast.
Let's see, we got this guy here.
And, everybody was already sat down and everything.
And this guy here. Yeah.
This waitress comes over and says,
we're about to get a sausage
"Would you be more comfortable at a chair when I'm already in the fucking
Shut up.
In the category of unfinished business, I should be finishing this guy up. This is going to be a discovery. Yep.
Needless to say, I'm not sure you can ever get me back.
This one's smaller. Maybe I can figure this one out.
Now, this will be my canon version of the discovery, as it should have been. Sister ship to the Constellation. And then, of course, we got all these guys back here. They got a 1-350 that's in mid-construction.
Okay, so this one's interesting because it's very, very brief, very, very oversimplified to almost hard to figure out from that pictures.
Yeah.
And they have partial English in the directions, which is really weird.
Okay, that's good.
I get to see how easy it is. I was not ever a model builder. This is for me and my husband, so it just wasn't one of those hobbies I could ever afford to try to do. So it just didn't get done. Those wings are actually kind of wicked, though. Look at that.
Yeah. 537. That's the again. Some of these sides, a lot of the sizing of the models through the years has been what's normally known as box scale. Not really assigned to a proper scale, just whatever fits in the box on the shelf. So, which is why you get some very bizarre scales. I mean, the old AMT kit normally referred to as 650. It's really closer to 1635, but I think it depends on which we're looking at. But I got somewhere here is the Revell version from Revell, Germany. It's not really available here in the States. It has to be an import. That one, going by the bridge module, comes in about, I'm figuring, the same scale as this old girl.
Bear in mind, I think trying to put these pieces together with ticks is going to be very interesting. So,
but kind of based on that, I figure, okay, the Revell one, that one I consider Constitution class. This one is not, because the proportions are just off enough. There's a lot of major details that don't line up. This one I call the Bonhomme Richard class, the one just before Constitution, because it's not accurate to the 11 foot, but it is screen accurate to the Constellation. Because they use one, that's what they used for the Constellation. Was an AMT man said, somebody, here's $3 for get us a model. Okay, Constellation, custom decals. JT Graphics is good. Probably cost you about $15.
Ow.
But they'll do up a custom, custom set for you. I have them in line for
Okay. Let's see if I can actually figure this out. Hello, fucking Leah. I mean,
the cell droop is kind of, it's inevitable. This model, because the way these things are made, it's actually one of the details because the cross section between the struts and the nacelles is not the same as on the actual model. So that's another big difference.
A212 and B28 go together.
Oh, honey.
A lot of it's trial and error and how well you can glue them back on when they break off. So
remember that model, the Enterprise D we saw at the Experience?
Yeah, that one.
It was in one of the higher end shops.
Yeah, it was made out of brass. That was a few $1,000s. No, it's also, I tend to specialize in the older moldings, like 76, I think, when they redid the molds. Because, although the assembly is a little more problematic, there's a few more details that for some reason they took off when they redid the molds. When they redid the mold, because the nacelle insertion is better. That's it. Otherwise, it's like, they didn't fix things they should have. God knows why.
Well, figured out at least the first piece. I also figured out these are really difficult to get together with my ticks.
Ta-da!
It's a start, right?
Every kit begins with a single piece.
Oh, and honey?
Yeah.
I was going through and marking off a few Christmas movies I wanted to watch on Prime Video.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of them has the Green Orion chick from Star Trek Continues.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But it's like, after, I think, because, then this was one of the most popular model kits ever produced. And they had it had been a few revisions from the original one. They changed how the struts connected in, from a loop thing to a half moon slot thing. But the molds were not made. They were made of aluminum. I think they wore out. Okay, yeah, Exeter's good. Yeah. When they redid them, they did some strange things. They made the forward cap here a two-piece thing, but this was all one half. With what the hell is this? And when the front thing, they got rid of this step thing, so all they one flat. They made the saucer dish smaller and less detailed. They put the spheres on the back, but they weren't accurate. And they got rid of the homing beacon for some God knows why. And no one has ever come up with an explanation of what the hell these three dimples were on the underside of the hull. I can only figure some kind of technical thing with getting it out of the mold. But did they correct it with the doing the new molds? No, they just lined them up better. Someone must be they were never part. We don't know why they're there in the first place. Why are you keeping them? But again, by taking the stance of this isn't the Constitution class in the first place, it's like, okay, it's an actual feature of that class of ship. They didn't continue it on. Again, the nature of the thing is, it's like you just got to live with it after a while. If you can handle them and all, you're gonna stag, but you're not gonna get them lined up right, especially when you're dealing with older models like I do.
Wow.
You know, I'm gonna have to do some paint details on this once it's done.
Yeah. So
Okay,
it's the nature of the beast. It's been an ongoing battle for 50 years with this model. In fact, the original model, you really couldn't get them lined up straight in the first place. I mean, the version with the half moon thing in the slot there, that I think that's actually an old slot, tab and slot thing, tab and moon thing, if I recall. So that's actually an older model. In fact, yeah, I know it because it's the slot on the bottom is from the original stand. So that's like probably first version without the lights. That's when they irritated me, when they, Although they finally did track one down without breaking the bank of a version of that kit with the lights in the nacelles. They didn't make it for long. But that was probably the high water mark for that kit.
Oh, gosh.
Okay.
I made a phase 2, because you remember the cutaway version of the ship. That's kind of a close enough to the refit model that, because it was kind of by accident, because I had a refit that was kind of not in great shape, and I think a spare cutaway or something. I was like, put them, put the primary hull on the saucer, a little modification of the neck, and put together, like, where it might be right now, somewhere around here.
I'm doing it with all my ticks and all. And this, I'm acting like a little kid excited with this, but
that's like,
you guys got to understand when you have constant tremors and ticks in your fingers, this is not easy.
Thank God it's a snap kit. Yeah. And you're not dealing with glue.
Getting there.
Mm-hmm. No, I put together a decent phase 2 Enterprise model, and we're using basically just primary hull of the cutaway. You're gonna kind of work a lot of putty work to get that seam out. Use some of the sprue to do the two two turbo lifts on the Enterprise on the bridge dome, and just the lower hull and engines from the refit. And it's a close enough for government work type of thing. There's a lot of details don't match up, but it's close enough. And a lot of sanding to get rid of them grid lines and the Aztec. But it came out well. I'm pretty sure that one got an award at StarCon that year.
Line on the other. Let's see. What's that stupid piece in the center?
And the only big surgery on the blower hull, aside from having to change the contour of the upper neck, is cut out a notch in the strut.
Okay.
Eaglemoss did it.
What?
No, Eaglemoss says, they did a phase 2 Enterprise. Looks nice.
Yeah, aren't they the one that went tits up?
Yes, unfortunately, they were seemed to be doing pretty good and having good stuff come out, but something happens. I got actually I've gone through a few, but I got one recently because it has the entire bridge around. But also I got back in the day an accurizing kit. I think it's from either the Thomas models or Lunar models, but the resident or with more accurate parts. With the more accurate bridge, helm console, stuff. And next, I did a video on that. Is it worth it? And it's like, and I figured, okay, yeah, it's great to have the bridge all the way around and more figures, but they didn't correct some of the problems with the original kit. It's mostly repop. So it's useful that, yes, I do have this accurizing kit because now, yes, I can put on the more accurate turbolift doors and the fixing the center console with the center section with the command chair and the helm. So yeah, it's somewhere in the pile there. And I'm not quite sure what part of the stack it's in. Maybe under the table. But yeah.
Ticks make this really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A1, 7, and 8.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I'm doing it.
Yeah. Now, it was real fun getting my latest Revell Enterprise, because I'm going to put lights in that one. I'm going to do that one right. The first one I got, it's like, I wasn't happy with it. But that one I'm going to go a little nuts on. But in part of the thing of trying to get it, there was a mix-up in the company I bought it from, and they sent me a JJ prize. It's like, okay, what do we do with this one? It's like, and we got first initial about, well, we it doesn't appear to be in stock, so what do you want to do with it? And I figured, well, just you can either do a partial refund or send it back. So I was like, just do the refund. Okay, I'll find another one. Well, they did the partial refund, so the kit cost me maybe $10, which is fine. And I managed to funnel that money into getting another proper original Enterprise kit. Right after I got that, I got notice back from we found it. We found your kit. Well, sorry, but I've already pulled the trigger on another one. So I'm sure you'll find it at another home. So, and I've got plans. Actually, I'm gonna bring a Paint Shop Pro again. Show you what I got in mind for the JJ prize.
Mm-hmm.
Because I figured, like, I hate to blame the ship for all the failings, but let's see. I need to get into the Tightweight folder and the JJ track.
I can't follow the directions fully with my issues, but I am figuring it out just based on the shapes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a combination therein.
Yeah, here's what I got in mind for the JJ prize. The JJ was saying, "Oh, make it a hot rod." No, you didn't make it a hot rod. You made it a cruise ship, asshole. So let's just lean into it. Look up.
I can't at this moment.
Okay, it'll wait.
Unless you want me to break the jaw trying to put it together.
No. But get that stuck first.
Is that in fully? Let's double check. Let's see what I've got here. Here's the girl who was starved for toys as a child.
Mm-hmm.
Building models.
Mm-hmm.
And I am having problems.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to fit there. It's not going in for me. Come on. Cooperate, you twat-faced hoe bag. There's got to be a trick to this thing.
Yeah.
There it goes. Hey! Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Cute.
Come on, damn it.
Get the
Get a load here.
dragon head.
Uh-huh.
Building and working, but that's slow.
Yeah.
Well, that's
But
slow
yeah,
because my fingers aren't coordinated.
This, I figured, no, this is what the ship looks like. It's a fucking cruise ship, okay? Now, this is why I've talked to JT Graphics about doing decals. Yeah, I said it'd be about 15, 20 bucks or so. The trick is going to be because right there on the side there, the pennant, there is a big ledge there. Let's say so. I'd have to account for that.
Oh goodness.
But,
Oh.
Okay. I think I'm actually making good progress on this.
I'm trying to clean
Cool.
it off a bit. But Astro Princess Cruises, right?
But this is a small kit. This is a small kit.
Yeah.
One sec.
And I did a lot of studying of actual Princess cruise ships to make sure that this would be authentic to what they would do. Because again, it's got all these blue lights on there anyway, and that kind of thing. No, it's a Princess cruise. No. JJ thought he was creating a hot rod. What he created was the Love Boat. Okay. That's what JJ, the Galaxy class would look like. God help us. Yeah, if he ever gets his hands on that.
Oh yeah. The singer from the Love Boat died this year.
Yeah, Jack Jones. Listen to the in memoriam things. They're saying that he did a lot more than just sing the theme of the Love Boat. He was an established professional going back decades. Okay. I think my mom had a Jack Jones record from back then.
Yeah, didn't the guy from Candyman die this year too?
What are you talking about? Tony Todd?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I thought you were talking, Willy Wonka. Sammy Davis died years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, the one that really upset me when he died was Kenneth Mitchell.
Well, yeah.
I am still not over that. The guy wasn't even 50 yet.
Well, ALS will do that to you. Yeah. Like Stephen Hawking admitted, he was very lucky. He's got a strange version that just stopped. Yeah. Let's get a look here.
It's designed to have the hero guy perch here.
Ah, kid.
It needs some paint details yet.
Yeah, but yeah.
I'm going to have to do some painting.
Maybe a bit of a wash to bring out the detail.
So that one was relatively simple. Let's compare the difference in these little boxes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's see. This one was how many pieces? Does it say here somewhere? I mean, relatively speaking, this one was 50-ish pieces, I think.
Yeah.
Relatively simple. This one,
as far as the constellation goes, it's one thing to grab one of these guys back when they were less than 20 bucks and do this to it. And I made careful notes of how extensive. Most people overdo it with the damage. And I did overdo a touch here and there. But to do it with a kit now, when you're lucky to get one for 50 bucks and you're going to take a torch to it. That may be a sign you have too much money.
Okay. Can we talk about this difference in the directions first of all?
Yeah, a little more extensive there.
You think?
Take
Actually, honey,
take your time. Yeah.
a sign of too much money is when you're actually able to buy the model from Humphrey October and put it up in your office.
All 19 feet long of it. Yeah.
Cute.
That model's big enough to be the office.
How the freak. Great. Please tell me that's just in the directions and not on the pieces.
Start with assembly 1 and.
Okay. No, that wasn't what I was looking for. They have it with normal numbers and English letters here. The directions here show the item sheets with Japanese characters.
Yeah, thank God they got pictures.
I was just sitting there going, please don't be that way on the actual sheets.
I once got a model at Montgomery Ward or a Japanese fighter, no directions. None. And it wasn't
you
like
need
it was
some definite paint on you.
Oh, and that guy who bought the Red October model didn't just buy the Red October model.
Yeah,
he bought the sub that was going after the Red October.
The Alpha class.
Fuck off.
What was that? The Kirov, I think it was.
Or Loganov or something?
I don't know. Whatever. It was an Alpha class attack sub. Yeah.
Let's get a glimpse at what this is doing. So what I did on the last set is I did not touch anything or take them off here until I could verify I was putting that piece in. So I did not want to. I know people who will sit there and take it all apart and pile it in the little stacks, and they know exactly which stacks which. And it's like, don't fuck that.
There are not many kits I can do that with.
I do not have a numeric memory.
Yeah, one of these enterprise kits. Yeah, I even tried a video where I tried to build one blindfolded. That was a bit too far. Some of the things you have to see what you're doing, especially line up the upper and lower of the primary hull. You got to, because there's no catch pins there. You got to watch it. I've been threatening for years. I do a live stream of me trying to build one of these things blindfolded. Yep, I tried it. Do not advise it, kids.
You failed miserably.
Well, I would say miserably, but it's a bridge too far. Yeah.
Steph.
What?
It's my birthday coming up. Would you save the torturing your husband for me, please?
Yeah, save the floor show. Save the floor show. Yeah.
Ooh. Do I want to know why there's so many tiny little nuts and bolts?
Actually, that's a Revell kit. Let's put it in the different box.
Okay.
Ow.
Comparing the two worlds, the simple kit that the gnome gave me and the Flex kit that we bought the other night.
Nothing. I did finally track down one of the old AMT kits with the lights and the nacelles, though, and it's like, and actually
this one has facial decals for the eyes and stuff.
Ooh, fun.
How is his royal gnominess?
Off with his aunt to celebrate and have dinner.
Being short and gnomy. Yeah. But it's like now I can say I've owned every version of that kit. Yeah.
Okay, this sheet has 40 pieces on it.
Oh, fuck!
Yes. Patience, Padawan.
And this sheet has over 40.
Oy, oy, oy.
And then there's this one, which has about 20. This has the extended pieces. And this over here has about another 30 pieces.
There are fairly notable kits. The entire kit has made 50 pieces. And
like I said,
and generally bigger than that Gundam you're building.
This didn't take too much.
No. Is that all of it?
Yeah, for that one.
So that's a quick one. Go right up on the shelf, and there you go.
That one was good.
Yeah.
I'm going to paint it, obviously, but that one was good. But this one I'm opening now is
it's a whole nother kettle of gah.
Let's see if I can figure any of this out.
I require a beverage.
Wasn't that submarine in Sequest, Captain Stark's boat? Wasn't that an Alpha class, or was it a different one?
That was something they made. It was based on the design looked like they started with a standard U.S. attack sub, but then they added some fins here and there to make it look mean. Yeah.
This thing has more directions to build the fucking head than the last one had for its entirety.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
And it's almost all in Japanese.
You're probably not going to have to do a lot to that kit when you're done with it. It's going to be, yep, that's it, done.
Ow.
It's almost all in Japanese.
Now's the time to test that translator, sucker on the phone. Meanwhile, I said, I need beverage. I'll be back in a bit. Talk amongst yourselves. All right.
A6 and A12. I'm just hoping I can follow this well enough to understand. I can figure out from the shape of these and which sheet it's on over here, which letter it's supposed to be.
I gotta wonder how you do, watching a movie in its original language with subtitles going the whole time.
I don't do well with it because I'm extremely visually obsessive. And I want to know every little detail of everything going on in the scenery. I can do it, but I hate it. It's not as much fun.
And then again, dubs don't half the time don't match, the lip movements.
Oh, cute. You think it's only half the time?
Well, it depends on the person. I mean, when it comes to certain movies, I would rather watch them using subtitles than try and watch them with the English language dubs. Because they just don't feel authentic to me if I do that. If I do the dubs. I mean, that's how I got through the entire set of the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo movies, the original ones. I just let the Swedish soundtrack go and use the subtitles.
Oh,
so much more authentic that way.
Left my phone.
Why I'm not a big fan of the American remakes.
I fell asleep on the American remakes.
We only watched one of them.
I know, and they only made one of them.
No, there's been two others since then.
Okay, then.
Well, let's miss thing one now.
Oh, thing is, when I called earlier, at the same time she was taking a call from her dad, and it's impossible to get a hold of him. So.
Okay.
My Equifax score picked up.
I have noticed when I'm trying to hyperfixate on these pieces to figure out where they go, I'm not ticking as much.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, that's because my brain's overloaded and stressed, but.
I'm actually kind of hoping Drew Lynch will end up coming out here just so you have an excuse to come out here. I mean, from the clips I've seen, he's funny as shit.
Well, yeah.
And the way he incorporated her into that, oh my God.
Well, that's because you're a shit and you like laughing at me. C35. Okay.
Bingo. No.
Well, it was kind of funny, though.
Bob, is your wife a shit?
Oftentimes, yeah.
Excuse me, honey?
This is where I get you in trouble for fun.
Mm-hmm.
You bastard. Yeah, time for you to get a spanking, honey.
No, I'm pretty sure my parents were married at the time. So.
You're still getting a spanking.
Yeah. You and Warner Rico. Yeah.
Oh. Just wait till you're asleep tonight.
Warner, right now, if you actually wake me up, I'm not responsible for my reaction.
Steph, darling, threatening spankings is not exactly a successful way to make men feel threatened.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them will just think you're threatening a good time. Why did I suddenly hear Ingval? After being married 20 years, there's things that I know I can't ask for my wife. Like, I can't ask her, honey, would you spank me? Her first response is going to be, well, what did you do wrong?
Oh. Yeah, just thought of something. I don't know if Bob told you about it.
Congratulations, you had a thought.
Yeah. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
I was watching the FBI a couple of weeks ago, and it involved a killer who was, like ultra conservative.
Is that coming through on your end?
What?
No, your mic cut out.
It went, no, you don't want to listen to this story, and just cut your mic as soon as you started talking.
Mm-hmm.
She knows I can't hear her, right?
That could be a sign. It's like, skip it. Yeah.
Penis juice. Glug, ho.
Anyway,
I made the mistake of looking back at what happened on that stream.
Mm-hmm.
When Anime cut the mic because I couldn't stop ticking.
Oh, yeah.
The last line that came across it was me ticking penis juice, my favorite drink.
Yeah, this episode of FBI involved this like really ultra conservative type woman who sought out, victims at her boss's gynecology practice because they were choosing to go through tubal ligation. And the killer herself couldn't have kids, so she basically took these people, made them do.
Cut out again.
Fucking hell!
Basically, I can't have kids. Nobody can have kids. Well, yeah.
Well, basically, what it was, she'd take her victims, make them do this trad wife video, and then kill him.
And that's the other downside with ticks.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Just dropped a tiny piece.
Ooh.
Bob drops tiny pieces all the time.
Yeah, but unlike him, I have an excuse.
Usually it's screws. A couple of times I actually managed to find them, but it's like, Yes. But when wondering, yeah, this is the established size of the JJ prize. Well, the only conclusion is that J.J. Abrams has Star Destroyer envy. I mean, that did result. It's like we had some glimmer of hope that maybe if we actually put him in Star Wars, he'll do a decent job. No, he couldn't even do that. As big a Star Wars fanboy as he is, he still fucked that one up too.
Oh, J.J. Abrams has more than Star Destroyer envy. He has penis envy.
Well, you didn't have to go there, dear. Okay.
No, it was already hinted at. It was already hanging in the air.
Yeah.
It was really, really low hanging fruit.
Much like JJ's.
No, that's not low hanging fruit. That's
that's it's actually retracted. Yeah.
Anyway, this is taking so much time.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we? That's just one little piece of the top of the chest under the head.
Mm.
We can kind of tell it's taken a lot of pieces to make it sturdy.
Looking like Optimus Prime. Is that what? Oh, it's doing it again. So freaking what? Okay.
Well, obviously, the stream has told you you're not allowed. Okay, this is fuck off. This is gonna drive me nuts. A9. Eat a dick, eat a dick, eat a dick, dick, dick.
Yeah, actually, you know where JJ got the idea? We're building the Enterprise on Earth. This picture right here. This thing had been kicking around the internet since probably the late 80s, early 90s. And they showed him this. Yeah, that's how we do it. It's like, this was a joke.
A14.
You sunk my battleship.
Not again. Damn it.
TC1.
But this very picture right here is what Jeff gave you. Oh, we're doing the hydraulic on. It's not how it works. This was a joke. They photoshopped a model, the AMT model, over a carrier in construction. But again, JJ is not the creative genius everyone thinks he is. Okay.
JJ is a twat.
They've been going on about Fringe. It was an obvious X-Files ripoff. And Lost. It was
anybody who actually thinks it's that brilliant.
I mean, and Lost was just the mashup between Gilligan's Island and Twilight Zone.
With a little bit of Lost in Space, right?
Mm-hmm, just a bit, yeah. Well, the thing is, he said he hates endings. Obviously, he will set up something weird and let everyone else run with it. He has no plans for how to end things. So somehow the concept of writing yourself into a corner never occurs to him,
Because that's okay to him.
Mm-hmm. Trust me.
Oh.
C24. Where's that?
I just commented the whole thing. Yeah. I've always liked this one.
This is so many fucking pieces for one little square so far.
So it.
See, all these pieces I put together so far, that's how much I've gotten.
The pizza cutter is in the drawer.
It's little fucking square for all those pieces I put together so far.
Yeah, it's just the upper torso. I'm not going to use it. It's going to stay there. Because it's a pizza cutter. I'm not putting that fucking thing in display. I just have it to have it. No, it's a pizza cutter. It's a pizza cutter of the Discovery. And the thing is, unlike the pizza cutter of the Enterprise that they did, they really had to make no physical changes proportion-wise to have the Discovery as a pizza cutter. It is perfectly proportioned with the actual, CGI model. If anything, the nacelles are a little short because, But otherwise, everything's like it's the height and everything. It's they made a pizza. No director said something. They made a pizza cutter.
39. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't he work on?
You work on what?
I remember that a lot of the toys they sell in the stores are built this same way by kids in slave shops. Sorry, am I taking away the joy for some people? It's true.
Where did I put that damn thing?
Up your butt.
There we are.
Eat a dick. This is where people realize that Bob is used to my ticking.
Here we go.
Yeah.
And for anyone saying,
it's like, it's in your butt.
No, they could have refit it. No, you don't refit a ship that goes from this one up top to this one on the bottom and then back to the one on top. Okay? That's not how refits work. Yeah.
Oh.
But usually when a ship gets refit in real life, you'll never notice the difference because it's all internal. It's equipment. It's a better reactor. Upgraded computer, that sort of thing. And the class of ship has more to do with the capabilities of it than its physical configuration. But again, Mike McMahon gave us a big old Christmas present by shunting all of this down here into an alternate timeline. So it doesn't count anymore. Thank you, Mr. Mike.
Ow.
Doesn't matter what anyone has any problems with the fact that jokey or the animation. He has proven himself to be a true fan and custodian of Star Trek by shunting little emo Spock here off to another world of an alternate timeline. Okay, among these idiotic, asymmetrical uniforms. Yeah, that's Ethan Peck. Yes.
Okay, actor, not a Spock.
And actually, you're on a real good compare and contrast of why one doesn't work. Okay, where did I put this one up? Okay. Maybe up.
How fucking hell.
There's so many really, really tiny pieces here. That would be so easy to lose if I wasn't paying close attention.
Ow.
That's starting to make me full of anxieties. A3.
I don't know where I found this. Oh, judging by that, probably saw it on X or something. Okay. Where is that thing?
Ow. Oh, fucking hell. Ow.
Yeah, here's a few of them. I think this was part of a Trek BBS discussion.
Oh. Oh.
So I did up a couple of these guys. Damn it. Come on.
Oh.
We heard that.
Yeah.
Probably louder than you thought.
That was quite loud.
Yeah, that was pretty resonant. All right.
Eat me, honey.
Not any chance of that one.
Why would
Right.
anybody want to kiss your butt or eat you after that
Especially
noise?
not after that one, yeah.
Oh, God.
Now these are fun to work up.
Ow.
Oh, holy crap.
Oh.
Itty bitty 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 face building.
Good.
Look at this thing.
Hold on. Let's get your biggie.
This is multiple pieces hooked together already.
Yikes.
Oh.
Itty bitty 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 space.
Oh.
B20 and 19.
Oh.
Well, these are the kind of stuff you'd see on Car and Driver. You know, think,
Hey, dumbass.
what?
Can you get me a glass of milk, honey?
Hold on.
You know, every time she says, hey, dumbass, I'm thinking, why are you talking to yourself?
Fuck you. Oh.
I was I figured transporters would be a recurring issue through the years. It's like Wave of the Future or Transport. What aren't they telling us? All right, hold on here.
Oh. Ow. Oh.
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 Ow.
Oh. Oh. Ow. 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 Woo. Help. Oh. Yeah. Oh. Oh. Help. Oh. Oh. Honey,
What?
I'm hurting.
Well, ain't the only one.
Ow.
Oh.
Well, that was a bitch to do.
All right, where are we up to?
So far. That was a bitch so far.
Okay. All right, well.
Got a lot of itty bitty pieces in this thing.
Let's make it big. Yikes.
That head took a lot of tiny pieces.
Yeah.
But it's building.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the most you probably should do on this maybe a wash, to go bring out some detail, level scale to it. Yeah.
I'll basically take detail brush to it and add some shadowing and shading and
that's
edging
about
some
it. Yeah.
Stuff. Mm-hmm. This thing, holy crap! I gotta talk to my husband a moment here.
Oh, okay. Let me find some else to show off here. Everyone's soaking the details here. Let's see. Little model data worksheet, data sheet here. Zoom in a little bit here. gonna post these on Twitter. Let's see. All right. I'm afraid to go back and check how old these pictures actually are. All right. There we go. Hold on a second. On my Twitter feed right now. Here we go. Just to think my internet's starting to work a little better. It does this. All right, there we go. I should actually redo this because that was back when it was still kind of Ed Muraki's ham-fisted job with the hated the poor ship over the French War. Okay. Yeah, the centerfold. And actually, the inscription that some guy wrote in to the Star Trek offices while the ship was on the air, and they got a lot of requests for autograph pictures, but some guy wanted an autograph picture of the Enterprise. And so they, sent him back a 8x10 of the 3-foot model and inscribed "Best wishes, USS Enterprise." And I recognized the handwriting. It was Bejo Trimble. What do we got? Yeah. But there really isn't a step for length. I couldn't put in the envelope. Figured bust size. Well, that's the saucer section. Waist. Not sure where I got that one. Hips. That's the nacelles. Height is just top nail. I think December 12th is when the model was finally delivered. They started working on it. Whatever, that covers things well. See what kind of reaction that gets.
Figuring out stuff for me and my husband to do.
Oh, okay. I'm going to do that there. Oh, appreciate it.
And I have a lot of events to do in the next few days. So I got the finished one, which was easy. I've got the 2 out of 8 steps done one, which is a bitch.
Okay.
I've already done way more on the 2 out of 8 steps than I did on this entire one.
Mm-hmm.
The gnome gave me a starter kit.
Mm-hmm. Damn it, come on.
7 servings per container. Less than a gram of sugar per serving.
Mm-hmm.
And when you take out the fiber, pretty much no carbs. Macadamias are pretty benign.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can eat a decent amount of them. And then I can get back to doing the hellish little thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to eat these.
Mm-hmm. What is these?
Macadamia.
Ah.
I have the salty ones for munching as is, and I have the non-salty ones that we use for doing my roasted ones later.
Mm-hmm. Give me one good reason why an American should own a fully automatic rifle. Give me one good reason why the government should have the power to take it away.
I swear, if you go political on Christmas, I will take off so fast you won't see me for a year.
Yeah, that was about it. And Valiant Renegade with a t-shirt and a picture of Santa, and you should see the size of my sack. Oh boy.
I wonder if Steam's having a Christmas sale right now. Well, if I got my wish list, the 5-girl kit I wanted for one of my games is over half off for only $3.50 right now.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a dungeon crawler immersive one in my list. It's on sale for just over $2 right now. And a hidden object one that's on sale for $2. Almost every single thing in my wish list is on sale right now.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm gonna get out of that. Oh, God. I should look at Steam. What are we?
Oh, the Avion RPGs that looked good to me are on sale for 80% off for $2 each. And that means even with one of them being $3, I can get all 5 games for just over $10, around 11. Those who love me, this is the time to hit my wish list. Over so many of the games that I want right now are really, really on sale for the end of year sale.
Okay, where's my Steam? There we go. There we go. Okay.
Morio Chronicle, which is another one, Dungeon Crawler RPGs I wanted. 80% off for 2.
Yes. Winter sale on Steam now through January 2nd. Let's see. Take a look at my wish list here.
Hush Hush is on sale, and I've been wanting that one forever. And because it's from the same series as Crush Crush, which is the sexual series, their sale percent off is 69% off.
I got a little boatload of Semren Kagura stuff here. And Epstein, $199. And Star Trek Online. Why is this still on the thing? It's like the free game.
Dear friends and tender hearts, this is the time to spoil me for my birthday.
Okay. I might risk a okay. Fatal, wondering if we're doing anything right now.
Send him the link.
I'm sending the link. Damn it.
I'm eating macadamia nuts. Macadamia.
So if we can get the foofy foof in here. Well, I got a bag of about 6 pounds of ham out front. Yeah.
I don't want to ask how many pounds of nuts my husband got me for eating for the winter.
Suffice it to say, all the squirrels in the 3-state area are very jealous.
He likes it when I eat nuts. I mean,
that would have been the perfect time for Fatal to show up, by the way.
I know. Let's face it, our whole group rhythm is off today.
Most I'm just happy the light in the fridge is working again. It's a little frustrating.
I just like shoving nuts in my mouth. I think my husband likes it too. Bum, bum, bum.
King's Hawaiian rolls. Come in. Well, come on, stay your mom. Yes, we're going right now. Send you a link. What the fuck's going on here with that idiot?
Well, let's see.
I might try a Fortnite stream later, if this thing continues to behave properly.
Well, maybe later when everybody's winding down for the night, we could do a late game of cards or something.
Yeah. I finally got the card game working.
Well, if I'm here, I can run it.
Yeah, that too. That was a total exercise of frustration during Anthony's karaoke thing. I couldn't get on board like 2 seconds into that.
I'm just so tired.
I'm having to throw comments from the chat and everything else, and it becomes a running gag.
I'm eating a few more than I probably should, but I am also pedaling.
Mm.
We love you, Iron.
Links in the chat. Come on. And so far, it's all wholesome, family-friendly, wholesome stuff, talking about.
Macadamia.
Mm-hmm.
Salty macadamias.
I think one more glass of cow juice, and I think we'll be fine here. Yeah. Back in a bit. All right. All right.
What you doing, Bubba? Okay, take your rinse out line.
Delphina, you sucked them till you couldn't suck no more. Your cheeks were packed with salty nuts. It was like you never tasted nuts before. There might be something psychologically wrong with me.
Oh, yeah. All right. God, get off of me, you piece of crap. Huh? All right. Get a load of this bad boy. It's gonna be a big car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell.
And it's already heavy as fuck. All right. I'm already getting to the point. I'm starting. It's like, screw it. I'm not running the brake lines. I'm never going to see these details. Okay.
Well, to be fair, the song I was just singing
Mm-hmm.
was written and performed by Brian Hayner, not me.
Mm-hmm.
I just have a demented mind that recalled it easily.
Okay, and Fed's one. How long are we getting? Let's see. How late are we going? Hopefully, because it's late. Because hopefully it's late. It's like, it depends. We're just saying we're live now.
And we can always go live again later if we need
Yeah,
to.
yeah. Not
Actually,
like
I
we
really
get.
do need to do live on my channel.
Mhm. Saying he can't right now. Wish he could, but can't. And I'm tempted to fire back. Then why the fuck did you ask? Let you handle that. Gotta love that delay of doing the mics. I'm just saying, we can always do another one later. In fact, I'm planning to do a Fortnite stream later. Now that one song, let's see, where is it? This is an anime, the Knights of the Round Table.
Okay, so if I'm building a world builder one, or I have to build this coral farm, is it fair to name the coral farm town I'm building Dementedville?
Name it whatever the fuck you want.
Iron says he was scared by Steph's freak out.
Yeah, well, you get used
She's
to
a scary, scary bitch. I mean,
now that song of Pogues with Kirsty McCall and Fairy Tale of New York.
we might want to end this stream just so we can do some crazy shit backstage.
Could be, yeah. And it's already been up for almost 3 hours. So, and Iron, the link, I'm pretty sure, is in the group chat.
Come say hi.
Right above that creepy picture of the Parrot Head poster.
It wouldn't be a day beginning in why a Parrot Head didn't post something creepy or demented.
Yeah. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He's already cut the phone lines. There really is no escape.
I mean, because Santa Claus is watching.
Why?
He's everywhere. Everywhere. Santa Claus has got his eyes all over you. I'm just saying.
Pretty sure I posted that one earlier, too. Ray Stevens, for you infants out there who don't know classic music.
There's one of his songs, I just forget the title. He's talking about how twisted his family is. And he literally says, crazy Aunt Loretta, don't let her at the knives. And there's a personal story that makes the story so much worse now.
Oh,
and I'll have to tell you when we're off air.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's that bad. It's like, holy Holy shit.
Okay. Well, again, I think we got the requisite Star Trek ranking in. Oh, and
You got a $30.
Justin that jumps up to, it's up to 8 people for a second there. Now it's on a 7 again.
You got a $30 super chat today.
Yes, I had to go with, let's, can we pull that back up again?
Yeah, you just click the start button over here.
Yeah,
and
let's get it up here. There we go. Yeah, whoop. There we go. See? The super chat does work, people.
Wow.
Make use of it. Okay?
Don't be a greedy.
I'm not doing this for my health, for God.
You don't have any health. What are you talking about?
Exactly my point.
Okay.
Also got memberships and tips available, so all kinds of phone book, a list of links to various support. I am like $25 away from cashing out on Subscribestar. It's been sitting there for years at 75 and boom, it's something. Remember, that was going to be the big thing. Subscribestar is going to take over, take over from Patreon. Well, Patreon's not doing shit either.
Well, the thing is, it's called death by 1,000 paper cuts. When people start adding so many different ways people can sub to them and pay them money, more people will not do it because they feel like that's all you're trying to do is get money out of them. And the few that do are going to be spread across so many platforms, you're not going to get much.
I probably should cut a few of those. Okay. What the heck? The delay. There we are.
Before you cut ties on those, we need to find a way to make you get high enough to get your payout first, so you don't lose everything.
Hippopotamonstrosauros equipped with phobia. What the hell? Well, let's run it through the old Google and see what that comes up with. Hippopotamonstrosauros is equipped with phobia is a fear of long words, also known as sesquipedalian. The word itself is ironic, as it's one of the longest words in the English language.
How about Ganoticolobomastophile?
Gesundheit.
No guess?
Not even going there.
It's a fetish for licking ears and playing with ears.
Okay.
Or basically the scientific term for umox. I am a weird person for knowing that, aren't I?
Yeah.
The words are there. Gyna,
Yep.
involving women. Tico, involving mouth. Lobomastophile. Lots of pleasure.
Yeah.
To a philic level from playing with a woman's ears. Hey, Eggsy. Make his Christmas bright. Send him a super so he can get his payout. Sorry, I'm a little shameless, right?
Won't be in the next month anyway because it's already,
I know.
Yeah, a little inside baseball, kids. AOL, not AOL. I keep saying AOL. YouTube pays out on the 21st of every month. If there's enough there to pay out, you got to reach over $100. So while yes, having your channel monetized is a great thing, it's a whole other thing to get it monetized or to pay out on a regular basis.
Granted, there were a few times I was helping people out where I literally went into their chats and they told me what they needed to get to that level, and I just super chatted it to them.
Mm-hmm.
I did it to you a couple times. Sent you some big ones back then. It helps.
I probably did. I don't remember because I probably lost in the midst of time. But, yeah.
That was when you were going through issues trying to get out of your car.
Probably, yeah.
Hey, no nuts.
Oh, God. What?
Talk about yourself that way, woman. It's not nice.
What?
2.7.
Okay, and Fatal says the only reason he knows about that word because it was a kid's song. You might want to allow me to log into your thing here before you start throwing these things at me.
Okay.
So what's your pin again?
3.
Hold on. Let me go ahead. Hold on. It's a little security here.
1, 4. 3, 4, 4.
Your mic's still open, so fuck that. Okay. 3, 4, what?
3, 4, 4. 1, 4, 6.
Not that it matters. I don't know what the pin number's for, so fuck you guys. All right. That was a 2.1?
2.7.
2.7. Okay.
Okay, let's see if I can learn how to play this stupid game.
Entering test results or something. Figured I'd be good and mute the mic so I don't yell at her mic still open. Every damn thing. So fuck it.
Ooh. Something so pleasurable about watching things get sliced to pieces with a scythe.
Hmm.
Even if it is just a farming game, right?
All right. I think.
Wow.
No, it's probably a good time because we're up 3 hours here. So beyond that, I don't want to. So you want to be. Well, I might as well start the Fortnite stream now. I don't want to do a 10-hour stream. No.
Chicken shit.
So we're going to take a bit of a break here. Probably fire it back up in a minute. But
okay.
in the meantime, we will talk.